Alright fellas, let's talk about what's been unfolding over the past 48 hours with Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez, because it's been a whirlwind. Now, over the last couple weeks, I kept hearing whispers from folks behind the scenes that a Haney versus Teo fight was getting close. Real close. This was, of course, after the Jaron Boots-Ennis fight fell through. But even with those rumors, it felt like there was still a lot of moving pieces. So I was a bit surprised when reports started surfacing that it was a done deal. But since then, everything's gotten murky. A lot of conflicting info, a lot of noise, and a whole lot of uncertainty. So let's unpack it. What's actually going on with Haney and Lopez? Is this fight happening or not? But real quick, if you're new here, I'm Chloe, and I make boxing videos to keep you up to speed on everything happening in the fight game. So hit subscribe. I've got you covered. Now, since that wild New York card, there's been a lot of head scratching over what's next. That card was supposed to be the launchpad for Garcia vs. Haney 2, a rematch that, if you asked anyone at the time, felt inevitable. At the same time, it was expected Teofimo would face Boots, and then we'd get a winner versus winner mega fight at 147. But, well, boxing happened. Garcia won, but then announced he needed hand surgery. Teo versus Boots collapsed. And Haney, radio silence. It started feeling like that whole plan had just crumbled. Since then, Teo has been the loudest voice in the room, and not always for the right reasons. Let's be honest, Teofimo Lopez and controversy have been tied at the hip for a while now. There was a time not too long ago when Teo was one of the most marketable guys in boxing. He had sponsorships, big-time brand deals, Bud Light of all things. That's not common in boxing, especially for young fighters. I mean, you don't see guys like Richardson Hitchens getting Bud Light bags. But instead of capitalizing on that momentum, Teo started spiraling. Back in September, he leaned hard into controversy, saying wild, racially charged stuff, presumably to stay relevant. And let's be real, he probably saw the attention Ryan Garcia was getting, saying out-of-pocket things and thought, hey, maybe I'll do the same. Problem is, it backfired. He caught major heat, especially from Terence Crawford, and eventually tried to walk it back, claiming it was all promo. And for a minute, it seemed like he'd cleaned up his image, especially around the New York card. He got a bit of that mainstream appeal back. But just as negotiations for the Boots fight were happening behind the scenes, Teo went right back to the same playbook, this time reportedly making more racially charged comments about Crawford. He denied it, of course. The WBO even defended him, saying he didn't say those things. But go watch the video, make up your own mind. Still, while all that drama was going on publicly, there was real work happening behind the scenes. The Saudis were pushing hard to make Teo vs. Boots happen. That was the fight they wanted, and it was looking like it was gonna go through, until Boots backed out. After that, Teo was offered the Haney fight instead. But the bag, not nearly as big, and that's when Teo flipped, going on social media, firing off all kinds of nonsense about Turki Al-Sheikh, clearly frustrated. But then, surprise, he realized he might still want that Saudi money. So just as quickly, he deleted the tweets and issued an apology. Classic Teo. It looked like the Haney fight was back on. The check must have gotten a little sweeter, and it started sounding like both sides were getting close. Then overnight, boom, every outlet was reporting it as official. Done. Signed. Ready to go. People started calling me like, "Yo, Cloister, why aren't you talking about it yet?" It's happening, but I held off because I could see the red flags. The only source claiming it was official was one journalist, and then every other outlet just parroted that report. But if you looked closely, it wasn't actually finalized. And then, just like that, Haney jumped on Twitter saying the deal wasn't done. Then, Bill Haney added that Teofimo had actually pulled out of negotiations. The original report was premature. One journalist got a little too eager to break the story and didn't check all the boxes. I get it. Mistakes happen. But here's the part that really got my attention, the reaction from fans. People started spinning it like, why would Teo want to fight Haney anyway? He just runs. But come on, Teo should have taken that fight, and honestly, I would have. Made Teo the favorite going in. The rivalry between them has been bubbling for nearly a decade. Even if the fight itself ended up being a chess match, the build-up would have been gold. So the fact that Teo apparently pulled out, yeah, that raised eyebrows. Look, if Haney was such an easy fight like people say, why not take the payday? It wasn't a title fight, but it was still a massive name, and the kind of win that could boost Teo's stock big time. So, why didn't he take it? To me, it boils down to two possibilities. Option 1. Teo thinks Haney is a tough fight. No. Belts on the line, money not great at first. Maybe he thought, why risk it? Could be he's waiting for a bigger opportunity. Option 2. And this one's interesting. Oscar De La Hoya might be making a move. Since Teo split with Canelo's team, he's suddenly been cozy with De La Hoya, one of Canelo's biggest enemies. And right after Teo pulls out of the Haney talks, Oscar jumps to his defense, saying Haney has no fans and the fight wasn't worth it. That's telling. Now, Haney is a weird one when it comes to star power. He's got a Jake Paul-style fan base, meaning a lot of people watch to see him lose. He's not a big draw by himself. But pair him with the right name, and the event blows up. Teo is that name. That's a fight that would have trended for weeks. Viral pressers, non-stop drama. The fight might have been tactical, but the spectacle? Massive. So why's Oscar defending Teo so hard because he wants to sign him? Let's be real. Ryan Garcia's on the sidelines. Oscar needs a new cash cow at 140 or 147. An active Teofimo Lopez gives him just that. And it wouldn't shock me if Oscar's trying to work out some kind of deal behind the scenes, which could explain why the Haney fight hit pause. Look, it's all speculation at this point. The fight could still happen, and I hope it does. It was close. Just one. More push, and both sides could be back at the table. And honestly, I'd rather see a big-name fight like this than both guys take tune-ups or meaningless bouts. But I want to know what you think. Was Teo smart to walk away? Would he have beaten Haney, or did he fumble a big opportunity? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read all of them, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. It genuinely helps the channel more than you know. Catch you in the next one.